On Election Day, Maine became the first state in the country where voters approved a law legalizing gay marriage. At 12:01 a.m. on December 29th, that law went into effect, and the city of Portland opened its doors to start issuing marriage licenses.
And at 12:20 a.m., Stephen Bridges and Michael Snell of Portland became the first gay couple to tie the knot here in Maine. The newlyweds join us now. We want to welcome you and congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, as the saying goes, how's married life treating you?
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Not much different than before, but.
Do you still, when, let's say you're introducing yourselves, do you still go, oh, that's right, now it's, what term do you use?
Husband.
It's an adjustment because for 9 years I've called him my partner, and now it's my husband.
Now you guys stepped into this in a very low-key way. When you went to City Hall on that Friday night, you had no idea that you were going to be the first couple, correct?
None.
None. We went up to the gate and asked if we were in the right spot, and they said yes, and 12 other couples came up behind us.
Was it kind of spur of the moment that you even decided to do it that evening, or had you been thinking about that for a while?
We thought about it that week and decided that was the night just in case there was some way it was taken away or anything like that would happen. So we just wanted it done and wanted to be, in the first week anyway. We didn't know we would be the first ones.
But you didn't go there with the intention of the intention of all this attention.
No. No, we thought we would be part of history, not the defining moment in history.
So what's the most memorable of those moments? Because I'm sure you were a little bit shocked by the media and public outpouring.
The first was when they opened the city clerk's door, and we walked in to start filling out the marriage license application. And there was this bank of photographers, at least 50 photographers, all snapping pictures, taking video.
And then when you walked out of the building
Yes.
to the plaza, opened the door, what was that like?
All they said was, here's your night, and opened the doors and cheers of hundreds of people. And absolute shock and terror to us. I almost couldn't walk.
I bet. Do you even remember going down those stairs?
We've seen the video since, so that was probably a good thing that it was captured, because I was looking for an escape. I was so shocked and scared by the crowd that that was my reaction.
Yeah, and what was it like for you? I mean, were you excited? Were you a little intimidated? There must have been a range of emotions
all of the above.
through your head.
All of the above. And I kind of felt a little bit bad because my daughters were there to stand up for us, and they got put into the limelight as well.
Yeah.
Actually, there were close members of your families who didn't even know what was going on. Tell me about that.
His daughters were the only two in the world that knew that we were getting married. So my mom found out on the news the next morning. I let him call her to smooth it over.
Oh.
Sisters were kind of upset. They said, you could have at least warned us. As any family would be. They weren't there for the wedding, but they'll be there for the wedding in June when we hold a big party for everybody.
So tell us about this. You've been together 9 years. How did you meet?
We met online.
And chatted a whole winter. We were both going through breakups and just thought we were each nice guys, and met in the spring and never looked back.
Did you, during those 9 years, talk about getting married?
We did. We actually did a commitment ceremony 6 years ago.
Here in Maine?
Here in Maine.
Yep.
And the reality is we probably never thought that it would be legal here. A lot of my family lives in New York, and they were all trying to convince us to get married in New York, and I said, nope, we want to wait until it's legal where we live.
It is a curious thing, though. It's legal in Maine. You guys can go to other states where gay marriage is not legally recognized. Yes. What's that going to be like when you do that? When you travel, when you go to a place where it's not considered, where you're not considered spouses?
Before we got married, we went to the lawyers, got a lot of paperwork done so that we could, if something happened, we could be there in the hospital for each other, spent thousands of dollars to get some of the rights as married people.
In other parts of the country?
Yes. And around the world, just in case.
Oh, that's right, in most other countries too. And even our federal government doesn't recognize it.
Right. That's next.
One of the amazing things
If you could finish that thought, you think DOMA will be overturned?
I do.
And we're talking about the Defense of Marriage Act, which is the federal law right now, which defines marriage as between one man and one woman.
Exactly. No, I definitely think it will be overturned. I think we've got 10 states now that have legalized same-sex marriage, and I just think it's the way that the country will go.
The eyes of the country have been upon you two guys. You've heard from people all over the country, right?
Yes.
Yes.
What's it been like? Tell me a little bit about the response that you've gotten.
Very surprising. You know, we've gotten cards from people all over the country, friends in Australia showing us videos from the UK that we've been featured on. I did a radio show for W Radio all over Argentina. They translated it into Spanish when I was speaking, so quite overwhelming, definitely.
I'm sure you've heard from some people, we certainly have, who are still opposed
Yes.
to same-sex marriage. What would you say to them?
The one thing that this campaign has taught me is when people are opposed, I just ask them one question. If my marriage is legal, how does it negatively impact your life? In what way? And most people can't come up with a valid argument of how it will negatively impact their life.
Have you been on a honeymoon?
Not yet. We have a few days off next weekend that we're going away and planning something for the summer.
Your first anniversary, it's going to be tough to top your actual wedding, but have you given any thought to what you might do?
Not yet.
No. A long way away. It's almost a whole year now.
Yep.
You're still trying to absorb that it
Yes.
happened.
Yeah.
We hope someday that, you know, marriages like ours will just be a marriage, not national attention that looked as a gay marriage. We just want to be equal and normal, no better, no worse, just a married couple.
And I bet you're hoping that the paparazzi don't follow you in June and on your honeymoon. Are you keeping those
Absolutely.
plans
Yes.
private?
For the most part.
Once we make them.
Once we meet.
Nothing cast in stone yet.
Stephen and Michael, thank you so much for coming in.
Congratulations.
Pleasure to
Thank
have
you so
here.
much.